I think we're live. It says I'm live. It says live. So, yeah, cheers. Thanks for being here. Calico, Winding Crowns, aka Hector. So,
Thank
uh,
you.
yeah. So, some people might not know who CalicoBasin or Winding Crowns are. If you don't know, CalicoBasin is a big YouTube star. He has, check his channel out, CalicoBasin. After, I'll put show notes and you can definitely check his channel out. Hector with Winding Crowns is actually doing a giveaway. His YouTube channel is almost to 500 subs. He's going to do a giveaway at 500 subs. But then also, I heard he's giving away a Rolex at 1,000. Is that? No, that was somebody else. I think somebody else was doing that. So, yeah, if we can get Hector up to 1,000, I'm sure he'll do another giveaway. So, Wilson says Calico is a star in general.
Thank you, Wilson.
I agree.
Yep. So yeah, Calico's made the circuit for sure. He's heavily involved in the community, as is Calico and Hector. See, B-Rad is here. Brad Southern, B-Rad. Detroit Spartan is here. He says seeing Calico gives him the chills. I think that's a compliment. Pretty sure. David Williams is here. I'm not sure how many people are going to sign on this live stream, guys, because this is just an impromptu live. So Craig says it takes a strong man to wear pink. I think that's a jab at you, Calico. Yeah, they're going to jab
at you. That's
the way it is. That's the way it works. Yeah, drink to that, right? Drink to that. So what are we going to do tonight? We're going to talk about some watches, potentially.
Oh, yeah.
That's what brought us all together in the first place, is watches. So we're going to do a little Q&A. I'm asking the questions. You guys are going to give the answers. If there's questions that pop up in the comments, we can obviously address those too. Craig G says no timepiece. No, I actually, Craig, I requested Hector to keep the his alter egos locked in a separate room in the house to not make an appearance on this. But I can't control Hector. I can just make a request is all. So.
Oh.
I can barely control myself. I can't control other people. That's the way it is. Jason's chiming in from Aruba. All right, let's get into some conversation. Let's get into this. So start off obviously with a wristwatch check. I'm going to start with Hector. What are you wearing tonight?
Actually, I have on. Let me see it there. The Orient M-Force. It literally showed up, and I sized it real quick so I can have it on for tonight.
Excellent.
Nice.
I know we talked last night, and I know you said you had that inbound. I didn't realize it was coming. Like today's Sunday. How'd you get it today? Who ships on Sunday?
Yeah,
FedEx
special delivery.
FedEx or something?
Yeah, I think FedEx will drop off on Sunday sometimes. That's cool. I still haven't checked out that watch. That watch looks pretty cool.
I had that watch December last year. It was a nice watch. I really like the shroud covering the bezel. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, I got that.
So, Mr. Calico, what are you wearing?
Oh, still honeymooning with the tutor. Picked this up. Took the trip out to Michigan. Went to Detroit. Rob, you were there. Went to Lucido's and picked this up. I've been really happy with it since, and haven't really taken it off much for anything. Just it's a great watch. The blues just are very fluid depending on the lighting.
Yeah.
Excellent
watch. Good choice.
I like it.
Yeah, the Pelly's pretty much an icon now in the watch community, really.
I've been eyeing it for a while. I was looking at that 50, what is it, the silver one, and it was too small for me. It just didn't look right. And I think Arizona Clayton, we were at a watch meet in California, tried it on. It looked like a little starburst on my wrist. So it was just too small. And I'm so glad I got an opportunity to put it on and see that it just would not work for me.
Yeah, and we definitely need to talk about that. I didn't write that down as a question, but that's something we definitely need to talk about because of the varying wrist size and body shapes and like You know, whether it's on bracelet or strap or NATO or something like that. Like, it just, the way it looks on wrist sometimes is like not flattering sometimes, you know, like whether the watch case size or the strap, the way it fits the wrist or something. So I'm still wearing the long, I'm going to say it right, Longines, big eye, titanium, blue dial. So yeah, I'm still digging it. I'm loving it. I love the titanium. There's some
How's that
cons
blue?
to
Let me
this
see that
watch.
blue again. Let me see that blue
There's
again.
there's some
Let me see that blue
cons to
again.
this watch. I know it's not going to show up good because it's, you know, I'm on my iMac. So, but I'll get some good pictures and video of it and post it up on the channel soon. But maybe this week I'll be super busy with all that stuff. All right, so we got the wristwatch check covered. Let's move on to, I'm going to start at the bottom of the list, I think. Let's do, Hector, we'll start with you again. What was the last, you kind of already answered this. What was the last watch you purchased? Sometimes just because you got that one doesn't mean you didn't buy another one today. What was the last watch you purchased? And what do you think is your next watch?
The last one was I think it was the Breitling Super Ocean 44. I believe that was the
That was
last
the last one you purchased?
which wasn't that long ago.
But you bought the 44 mil, right?
Right, the 44 mil. I wanted that helium escape valve.
Oh, that's right. Because when you go to the 44,
I need
it goes way up. Like even what is the 42? Even the 42 is a 500, isn't it? 500,
1,650 feet. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the Breitling Super Ocean 44, it wears smaller. Like even the 42 wears more like a 40. So I'm sure the 44 probably wears more like a 42, 43.
Right. I think it wears. I think you mentioned that, and I think Bruce Williams said, "Don't be scared of the 44 because it wears smaller," and it does. It probably about a 43. I think it wears about a 43.
Yeah. Well,
Which
what
isn't
is your
too
wrist
bad
size?
because I have a 7.5.
Yeah, you're
7.5.
7.5-inch wrist. 44 makes sense for sure.
Right.
All right. So that was the last one. Do you have a set plan for like the next purchase?
The Heimdallr is on the way, so that's pretty much already been, and it shows up Tuesday, I believe.
Wait, what is that watch? What did you say?
And then of course the
Hector, what was the
Heimdallr
watch?
Sharky.
The Heimdallr Sharky.
You heard of it before.
So that's a SKX essentially, right?
Right. And I went with
the,
you know, huh?
Did you say it was auto or
It's
quartz?
It's automatic.
Okay.
Yeah,
I had that white dial one, and it was
the one that has. Yes. Yeah, that's the reason I had never experienced one until you lent that one in, and when I felt it, and it really felt a lot like a 007, that feel to it. Then I was already sold on it. I just had to find the configuration I wanted.
Did you do it on?
So thanks to Rob, that's the reason it came down.
Did you do it through the eBay seller?
No, I did it. There's a guy in Texas also.
Yeah, that's the guy.
There's a guy. Yeah, but you know what? I talked to him actually on the phone, and I also went back and forth with text, and he didn't have the configurations I wanted. He was really limited on what he had, so I had to look elsewhere.
Okay, because I think he's actually trying to be like an authorized dealer or whatever, you know, basically for Heimdallr in the USA. I think he's going to be like the main supplier.
Right.
Is this the watch with like a shark on the dial?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not a 1-to-1 of the SKX either. Like the case is subtly different.
Right.
What's the
movement?
Yeah, I don't think you can swap parts with it.
No, I don't think you can either. It's an NH36. So
is it heavily modified?
You mean does it have a yellow rotor? No, it doesn't have a yellow. I already know you too well.
53, baby. 53.
I already know where you're going. All right, Calico. So the question for you: last watch you purchased?
Well, it was just the other day actually. I was I was over when we were with Detroit Spartan. He had this Weiss watch, and it was really inspirational to see I just wanted a mechanical winding kind of watch, and he had it on a great strap and everything like that. And it was a 42 Weiss, but unfortunately, they're really hard to get, and you just can't find them in that bigger size. You can find the 38s, but the 42s in the right colorway, they just go. They sell so fast, and so I picked up this this watch here, so I can bring it in. It's a German watch. It's oh gosh, I don't think I can show it, but anyway, it's got yeah, it's not showing up, but it's got 3 hands. It's got a large hand. It's a regulator. It's got
shut your light off real quick and see if it'll show, because I think people do need to see that.
All right, let's see if I can get this going here, right?
Because I think it's just a reflection from that light.
Yeah, there we go. So
there you go.
Because that's a very interesting dial lamp.
Oh, yeah.
So
right there is the seconds. Up there is the hour, and then the minutes. The minutes are very pronounced. And so anyway, yeah, it's a German watch. The brand is called Dufa. I know that sounds really weird because you had an S, you know, but I did have it on a Shinola Horween strap earlier.
Yeah.
Really liked it a lot, but I put it on this other Horween strap, and it just seems to take any kind of straps on it, but it's certainly not a Weiss by any means. But I just wanted something to pacify me until maybe something like that comes along in a 42 in the right color that I'm looking for, and it's there. It's doing it. Just I keep going back to this. I mean, I haven't even worn that a solid 20. That hasn't even had 8 hours on my wrist, you know. But it kind of was just something I did to pacify some time.
We talked at pretty great length about that. That can be a dangerous thing if you're in a watch honeymoon and you have other watches coming in. Like, it's really not fair to those other watches because you're so infatuated with that Pelly that, like, that watch right there is probably a great watch for, especially because you probably got a pretty good deal on it and everything. It's just not fair to that watch.
It doesn't have a chance. It doesn't have a chance. I mean, honestly, if I flipped it today, it'd be no loss emotionally to me. It'd be gone. I mean, it's nice.
That
can
can be collateral damage from having, like, because I think all three of us end up, we get a lot of watches. We all three buy a lot of watches.
When you've had too many, it's hard to settle on one.
Yeah. Talking about watches. So
yeah.
So that was the last watch you bought. Do you have one in queue? Do you have one ready to go?
You know, I've got a couple I'm thinking of. It might come to fruition. However, there was a watch that I saw while I was in it. Again, this Detroit trip was just had so many things that popped up, and there was a watch in the case that one of the dealers there, and I'm not going to try to plug them over and over, but it was just a used battery watch of a brand that I really like. It's less than 10 millimeters thick because it was quartz, and I had an opportunity to buy it with the Pelly, but I was like, no, you know, let's just keep it for the one. And they would have sold it at a significant price, if that was favorable. And I didn't. And I was looking through my pictures of that trip, and I saw it. And you know, Rob, I was talking to you about this watch, and I think I may end up picking up that watch. It's on a Milanese, so it's a Bell and Ross, quartz,
Nice.
just stainless steel. It's on a Milanese bracelet, really thin. Just it just seemed like something that I feel like I missed, and I didn't get it, and it's been lingering. So
yeah,
not like something
called. That, like, it's not buyer. Well, no, I mean, like, it's not buyer's regret because you didn't buy it. What is it like? Yeah. What is the regret of not buying?
It's just like
it's not fear of missing out.
No, I mean, I think it's just something that's there that I just want to experience, to have. It's not some limited thing. It's an older one. They're not even making it, that particular one, anymore. It's if they
that
are
one
making
wasn't
it,
even running when you looked at it. The battery was dead in it.
Battery was dead. Probably the contacts are ruined. Everything. I don't know. I just want it. So let's see how that works out.
Hope not.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, there's some handy people in the Discord group could fix that stuff up. I'm not worried about it.
It's probably fine. Quick battery change.
Yeah. But I mean, as far as something in the 2022, gosh, there's just so many things that popped up this year. You just really don't know what's coming next year. I mean, some of the big dealers do their things like Oris, and they kind of showcase what's coming up. But you know, things popped up this year that I had no clue was coming out. So I kind of left it open. This Tudor's just honeymooning so hard with it. It's not much is coming to mind. I don't have the desire for something. it's just not there. There's nothing like saying you got to get it, you have to, and that's very odd for me. I haven't felt that way since probably I got my Rolex Batman in 2015.
That's good. That's a good thing to feel.
Mm-hmm.
It allows you some flexibility and just playing around with some approachable watches for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. How about you, Rob?
Oh, last watch, I get them mixed up. So timeline wise, I'm not sure if I bought I think it was actually the Big Eye. I think was my last purchase. I have some other ones that were kind of in the same timeline because I bought like 3 all at once, but I didn't technically buy the Big Eye until it actually came in. I didn't pay for it. So I think the Big Eye technically is the last one I actually purchased. And I'm enjoying it. One of the 3 that I bought all at once like that, essentially, I don't even have yet. I'm going to be making a trip this weekend coming up to go get that. And then I got one down here that shipped from Alaska in a box still that I need to open up. I'll probably open that up tomorrow. So, and then, next watch, I got to be honest with you guys. I'm all twisted in the head on what I want to do next because there's opportunity, versus what desire versus like, I don't know, like sometimes I feel like I want to play heavy in the affordable range again, or what I consider affordable anyway. And then there's a certain level of, do I want to keep the luxury path going, or I don't know.
What do you consider affordable now, Rob? I mean, you've jumped into that Rolex luxury steel line, not the solid gold yet, but and you've been down there with the 53s. So I mean, where's that line for you with?
That's a good question.
luxury?
Actually, we could
where's your
segue in
price
because I
point?
kind of wrote that down, and this is under this is a serious tough question for a lot of people, and sometimes not comfortable answering. But instead of me answering it, I'm gonna bounce it over to Hector. And this is I did write this down.
That's you.
I did write this down. I said, so like, what is your budget? So in more encompassing, just what is your budget, but more in line of like, you don't necessarily have to answer that so much as you could answer probably like Calico's question in like, what do you consider like affordable or approachable versus like, because I think that's a lower tier, and then there's like the mid tier that is still accessible, and then there's the luxury. So like luxury, accessible, and then affordable. Maybe it's 3 categories, if that makes sense. Or do you even have that?
Have what? Something in the horizons, or
do you have like those categories? Do you even look at the hobby or watches
yes.
like that? So where's your comfort zones in your spending?
As time progresses and prices go up, that line gets cut back, obviously, right? But in reality, we kind of are spoiled in the fact that we're blessed enough to be in this hobby, right?
Yeah.
So
sure.
I do keep that in mind. I do keep that in mind that that I do try to step back and really look at this hobby and so. But to me, I believe when you start getting into the range of, your Breitling range or your even tags, can get pretty hefty. Your Breitlings and your Omegas, you're running in the thousands. You know what I mean? You break the 1,000, you're breaking the 2,000 barrier, you're breaking the 3,000 barrier. And I know we all pat each other in the back and say, "Get it, Hector, get it. Come on, Calico, get it." But the norm, people are I've told my friends, "You paid what? That's ridiculous." That's the normal reaction you get. So that kind of puts me in perspective of, okay, like the Aqua Racer or the Breitling or whatever, the Planet Ocean, those are not cheap. You know what I mean?
No, they're not.
And then, of course, you've got the super high, crazy, like I said years ago, the Rolex was something that was easy to purchase. You wanted one, you got it. Now it's hit another plateau, you know. So I would say for me, my comfort level is all those brands I mentioned, you know, the and even a Rolex if I bought it right, but that other level tier of the Omega and things like that, I feel they're not cheap by any means. And if you lost it, it would hurt because it
Yeah.
costs some money, you know. So I feel that if I lost a watch, if my Breitling I couldn't find it and I knew it was gone forever, it would hurt me, you know, because that was not a cheap watch. And
Well, did you buy
then
that
of
new
course,
AD or gray, or how did you buy that?
it was gray, but even then with gray, it's not much cheaper than
No.
a retail. You know, you get a
Well,
little bit of
retail with
after you
discount,
get the. But it's still not cheap, you know, like so.
So over
And then of
3K?
course, like yeah. So that's if you lost 3K, if your wallet was lost and 3K were in it, you know, you would freak out.
Yeah, you're
So
gonna probably
my
Speaking of
perspective,
lost
I keep it like
wallets,
that.
speaking of lost wallets, I did lose my
You lost your wallet?
in Vegas.
Were you going to bring
You
up the
found it.
coincidence that you
Did
think
you
it was
really?
in the same time frame that you were accosted by a wig-wearing maniac?
I don't know.
Are
It's
you
gone.
saying it fell out?
Could have been lost.
Now
It
I do
fell
remember you were
out.
drunk as hell.
I remember feeling a lot of things in that region, and I don't know if it was around the wallet area or not, but it's gone. Look,
Oh my goodness,
anyway.
that Kip, he's a.
So
I'll talk
Hector,
to him.
basically, you would say kind of like, because even that orient you're wearing, right? That's like kind of affordable. Because what are those, like 5-ish? I don't know how much those cost.
Retail, I think it retails 6 something. It retails like 6 something, I think.
You
But
didn't pay 6 for that. You
they
didn't
can be
pay
had.
6.
No, you can get it 3.5.
Okay.
Which to a lot of people though, you pay what?
Yeah, but like those people are not watching us right now. So like we're amongst peers.
No,
So like
they're not
when we're
watch
talking
guys.
to them, we're not talking about how crazy we seem to the non-watch wearing folk, right? So we're talking about our
Right.
peers. And I think within our community, I think
Yes.
what you're saying does resonate. Like 500 or less is kind of like affordable. And then approachable might push up
Exactly.
into the 1,500 to 2,000. Still a lot of money, but still doable, right? And then once you crest over that, now you're talking like it's a lot of money. Like some people are a little uncomfortable with going to that level.
I'm looking at some watches I pulled out, Rob, and I can't find. On MSRP there isn't a watch out here that's 500 and wait, no, there is. So yeah, the SKX 09. There is an under $500 watch. Even now, if you were to try to find it in brand new condition, right?
Yeah,
there it is. So, and that's got a huge following, right? It's
iconic.
This is like,
and you enjoy that watch.
I do, especially on this band that I've got it on now. You know, this the Clockwork. I put it on the gray one,
which I'll put a link in the description. I have an affiliate link that I can that I get kickbacks from. Yeah, there we go. That's the whole reason of this live stream. It's like a pyramid scheme. We need you guys to all buy the Clockwork Republic. No, I'm just kidding. So,
anyway,
but so you kind of touch on just because it's affordable, or like in that 500 that we just identified as like 500 or less, doesn't mean that you necessarily want it, right?
And that, I mean, that's really interesting. You're talking affordable, and what was affordable for me has been. I just thought I'm not necessarily thinking about affordable. I'm thinking about just what I want, and whether I would buy it or not, or I want to use like flip money. The Pelly that I got, I was using other watches. I had about 140 watches and needed to unload a few. And just as I got rid of them, I kind of honed in on something. But as I was doing it, I ended up finding the Landmaster came up on flippers. And so, you know, you're sitting there working towards like something you want, you know, like the Pelly, and then you find that one, right? It's a spring drive. It's great. It's a Seiko. and it was a great price. I mean, I think Jerry was selling that, and
Yep.
just and I mean, so and you're not looking for it. I'd never even seen it, heard of it, didn't know anything about it, but I wasn't going to pass it up. And now, because of that titanium in my collection, which is a couple $1,000 there, this one, the Seiko Shogun, which is a nice one, by all means, and this is over $1,000, right?
Yep.
It's a Seiko, great watch.
That's over $1,000 on rubber. It doesn't even come on bracelet.
On rubber. Right. And so this one here is just, it's a great watch. But when you've got this titanium, that titanium, this titanium, there, you have to say, what are you going to do, right? And you actually like them all, and you can rotate them. I mean, I know some people that have, 5, 6, 7, 8 Rolexes, and they rotate them, and they're not going to get rid of any of them. It's just where they're at. For me, though, it's like, well, I'm looking at other things, and I need to figure out what I want to do. And I know the Landmaster I need to give a lot more time. But when you talk about affordability, like Rob was saying, all of those are, I mean, between the Shogun, the Landmaster, and the Peli, that's 10 grand. I mean, that's literally
right. So then when you collect all those together, you kind of already did it with the other watches you had, right? So you're like, when you step back and look at it, what you've done, and you can do it with $500 watches, you step back and look and be like, well, if I sell all those, I could buy a Tudor Black Bay 58, or in your case, 10 grand. That covers a no date sub. And
all three of those watches were obtained since I don't know, Rob, was that August on the Landmaster? I mean, maybe around August. So and within
Probably.
3 months, within the last 3 months, I've acquired those three, and that doesn't include, a plethora of watches I have sitting here that if it comes up, I can show them. But I mean, that's and then you've got people like that comment there, 1 to 2 watches per year, right? And here I am flipping. I don't know. I think I've flipped about 50 to 60 watches this year, and I've purchased probably about another 20 through all that.
Right. And you probably can't name them all. You can't name all the ones you sold, and you can't name all the ones you bought. So to a certain extent, I think I can honestly say, and I think a lot of other people could say, we're almost envious of Scott. And he says only buy 1 to 2 watches a year, but that's a more focused way of doing the hobby as well. And those watches might have a better meaning, a stronger meaning within his collection and to him when he wears them. So
absolutely,
to a certain extent,
absolutely,
yeah, that's the truth, But
yeah, I mean, I have a few watches that I've bonded with really strong that won't move in my collection. I'm sure everybody is, whether it's their high-end Patek, Rolex, or some Seiko or Citizen. I mean, Hamilton, you name it. And when they hit that, and it's just there. They bonded with it. It doesn't matter the price point. And I admire that. And that's what you got to have in this hobby when you find that one. And like going back to what you said earlier, Rob, buying this one, did I give it even a chance, right? I mean, I don't think it even has a chance.
That thing has a chance because it's probably going to be hard for you to sell that. Not because it's going to be hard for you to sell that, but it's going to be hard to sell that watch because there's only a certain amount of people that are interested in that design.
I might have spent $500, but when you take this one and you say $50 and you don't care, it'll sell.
Yeah. But that goes back to like the question is like about the budget and everything, and that plays into it. So, you're playing with a different type of attitude in the hobby, and I think a lot of people play like you do, and there's a lot of people that play like Scott does. So, and yeah, sometimes you spill a little, Johnny Walker on yourself. It's no big deal. It happens. It blends with that cologne you were spraying on yourself a minute ago. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
Show them your cologne. I know you want to show them.
Water. Look. All right. You know what? I'm going to bring it up since this is live and we're going to have some fun.
Can you describe what it smells like?
Yeah.
Is it Creed?
So it's like,
that's a band.
You go live, you got to.
Isn't Creed a rock band? So it smells like a concert.
You just never know what's going to happen live, right?
Oh, it smells good.
If you're going to go live, you got to.
It smells like Smells like Teen Spirit. But
Nice.
Hey. Yeah. All right.
So you dodged the question about budget. Hector, I think, danced around it, but I kind of filled in the gaps. I don't think you fully answered the budget question or the comfort level, but
Yeah.
you filled in my gaps.
I have a good range, but it'll cap at a certain point. It will. I mean, I think if I went above 15 grand on a watch, I'd definitely be taking a bunch out of the collection to go into that range. But under 5 grand, I don't have a problem. If I want it, I can figure it out.
That's your comfort level.
Yeah, I think so.
So, and I know I catch flack for it because like my comfort level was much advertised at like that 500 and less range. And I can honestly say there's very few watches that I actually truly enjoy in that 500 and less range anymore. I still want to see them and I still like checking them out. But as far as like wearing them and fully enjoying them, like I do some of the more expensive watches, it's not the same feeling for me. So that bar has been raised and I'm able to clear that bar now. So I think that's a natural thing in life and in hobby. You should always be trying to achieve more. So, and that's all I've done within the watch hobby and in my life and everything. So my comfort level is definitely like, say where it used to be 500, like I can't do it very often, but I don't have an issue spending say like 2,500, and that 2,500 this next year coming up might be raised to 5,000, who knows, but I can buy a watch for around 2,500 and like not be weirded or about it. Now, yeah, like Hector said, if I lost the big eye, because what I paid for that, if I lost it tomorrow, like I'm gonna be a little bummed out, but I'll be okay. I'll move on. Like I'll wear another watch,
right.
But it's not going to cripple me, whereas some people, I think it would, and I understand that. And legitimately, 3 to 5 years ago, that would cripple me. But today, no, just because of where I'm at in the hobby and how I look at things.
I think it's great, Rob, that with as many watches that pass through your hands, you've kept a pretty good perspective, because I've known you in the time that I've known you, I've seen you'll go buy, there's some Casio watch and enjoy it for a little bit, and it could be a $100 Casio, pick it up, no issues, and then you'll jump into something like what you're wearing now, a couple thousand, and it's and you'll take that range, but you appreciate the diversity and the positives in these different watches. And I think I've come to that too. And that, and Hector, you're there as well. I mean, you're wearing an Orient, you're proud of it, you're happy. I had an M-Force and I thought I was like some Ninja 007 wearing my M-Force when I got it. I thought I could be like, like doing some weird shit at night with my scopes and night ops, and it was like I had this feeling. But like even a 500 meter tub diver, the reality is I don't do any of that. But you have an appreciation, Rob, of all the watches that come through you, and I think that's really good to be positive like that about all the aspects of different watches.
Yeah, thank you. So to kind of put that in perspective,
I was thinking about what Rob was saying.
Yeah, go ahead, Hector.
Go ahead, Rob.
No, go ahead.
No, I was thinking about what you were saying, Rob.
Go ahead, Hector.
When I've been watching your channel for a bit, and I remember when you made that claim that you're not going over 500, your comfort level is 500 and below. And I remember that video. And then look how you've evolved, right? And it reminds me of myself, like when I started the hobby very young. I told you all that last night. And I think I jumped. There were really no micro brands back in the day. So I jumped from whatever Seiko I wore to a Tag immediately. And then from the Tag immediately to a Rolex Air King. And then immediately to a Datejust two-tone and Submariner, Sea Dweller, Yachtmaster. I mean, and then I discovered Breitling and all these brands, right? So the amount of watches that I've purchased, Core and Bubble when it was a hot watch, the Admiral's Cup. I mean, anything that was hot, I would buy it. But I bought a ton of Rolex, right? And sold them because they were so accessible. I could buy another one if I wanted to. I experienced them, and then of course times have changed, right? But it's almost like I went full circle. Like now I can wear a Breitling and go, man, this is a bad watch. I love it. Put it away and then wear a Citizen Echo Drive. You know, as long as I visually think it's attractive watch, right? I put it on and I'm like, and I can almost, if not, enjoy it equally. Like, like I can wear it and I never say, damn, I should have put the Breitling on. I can be like, man, I can wear this watch all day. I love it. And but I did the whole circle all the way through, and I believe that when you buy all these watches and then been there, done that type of mentality, uh, you'll get the, at least me, I get enjoyment from the citizens and the armed forces. And you could say, well, Hector, why do I always see them on flippers? And the reason you see those on flippers and not the Breitling, it's because the Breitling is harder to repurchase, but the M Forces and the Orient, you know, and the Seikos, they're easier to flip and then rebuy if you want to. That's the only reason why you see those on flippers and don't see the higher end stuff, because it would cost me more to replace those if I feel like I made a mistake by selling it. That's the only reason. Because believe me, sometimes I felt like selling the Breitling or the Tag, because to me it's just a watch. But I think, no, heck, to think about it, if you later on think, damn, I want it back, you got to go spend the money again, because you're not going to get what you paid for it. But that's where I am in the hobby. Like I do really get the enjoyment out of both.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. That's partly why, like, you won't see, like, I did sell some higher end stuff that was challenging to get, but that was in sacrifice to get the sub, and I don't regret that. Other than I do kind of want to have a Breitling in the collection again, but I don't like doing rebuys, so I don't know that I'll buy. We'll see.
Yeah, but Rob, I mean, look, if you, so like, here's a, I mean, so you got a sub, right? Right. So, I mean, and I guess like these two, you know, this is I don't know how you show it. Like, here's a GMT, this is a diver, right? So I can have both, right? A Breitling and a Rolex. So, I mean, I see selling the Breitling diver to get a Rolex sub diver, you know, I mean, that makes sense. I probably wouldn't want that kind of crossover, you know, but if you had like, you know, the GMT, right, of a Rolex, then you're going to need another diver. And, you know, like you do, like I've got this Tudor. The reason this one stays and the Breitling stays is, well, one, the Breitling was a gift to me from my wife, but like the Tudor, it's a titanium, so they're different, right? They're different. Sure. And then the Seiko Landmaster is a GMT titanium with a bullhead design, so there's that variation keeps it. But I could see that the Rolex sub, Rob, totally replaced the Breitling for you. I mean, it just, you know,
right? But the sub is a no date, and then the Super Ocean has a date, so.
You also have a Breitling, yeah, like lease.
And aesthetically, they look different.
We can justify it however we want. Like it's insane anyway.
Yeah, right. I mean, nothing we do makes sense. We passed that absurd level.
Yeah, I just don't know if I'm going to do the white dial again or if I'm going to do a different dial or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Right.
Discounts are drying up too. Let me see if I got any more. I have other questions, but.
Am I froze up
these together? What's that?
Did I freeze up, or can you see me move?
No, I can see you moving. I don't know if you're seeing.
No, you're frozen. I can't see you.
I'm not seeing y'all move.
You're no longer moving, Hector.
He's moving. Your face is numb. Stop drinking. So
I don't know how to.
I'm going to start with Hector. Hector, what is your favorite brand? Can you nail that down?
Yeah, I actually, at this point in time, I do, and not just because I purchased one, but I think Breitling and Omega are pretty much equal. They're not even one over the other. I think they're both. But because I own the Breitling, I'll say Breitling.
I think Breitling brings a lot to the table. I agree with you. I'm a huge Breitling fanboy, and I don't even own one. I'm on the lease program still. But yeah, I mean, they're all their movements are COSC. They do have some. I mean, the list goes on and on. Breitling is, and they're doing some awesome things. So.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
Hector, can you answer that?
Right now.
Craig is asking, can the crown guard on the Orient M-Force be removed?
Ooh.
Yes. Yes. It actually has like little Allen wrench, the little Allen. So you get a small Allen wrench and it's got two, one on each side. And you can remove the piece and it's metal. It's either DLC or PVD coated black, actual 316L.
Okay.
And you can take it off if you want to. It's got the two holes on the sides, and you can actually take it off. You'll have the two holes and just put the screw back in, and then you won't have the holes.
To clean it out.
So it doesn't look crazy weird if you take it off?
But I like the way it looks.
Yeah.
No. I've seen pictures of it, and it looks just like a regular watch. I think that's what attracted me to it is the crown guard.
All right. I'll have to check one of those out. I haven't done a video on one yet. So, Calico, what is your favorite brand?
So, wow.
I know you're all over the place.
Brand wise, so okay, that's wow. Wow, you know, Rob, man, why you gotta ask that? So I will say this. So what I'm looking the most at right now, aside from some of the watches I'm looking to buy, but I keep going to, is I'll throw it up here, but in this kind, Shinola. I'm looking at Shinola the most right now. So I'm going to their website. I'm looking at the Shinola Agent. I'm looking at the Shinola Hotel watch. I'm looking at the Runwells, the different ones. They've got great straps. This is a monster. This is the Harbor Monster. I'm spending a lot of time on Shinola's website. I'm looking at some of their older ones. I'm looking at Filson's. Somehow I've ended up going down Shinola. They just got so many watches, and they're big, and they're straps. I wish I had one here to show, but they're high quality. They're Horween leather. They're great.
Yeah, their straps are like
their lugs.
Good.
The wire lugs are great. I like that they've got some tie with what they do with Michigan. They build a hotel, the Shinola Hotel, and they have a watch for the hotel. And it's really cool. And it's sold out. You can't get it, right? You can get it on eBay, but you really can't get it. They've got these Harbor Monster series. I mean, if I look at these here, the lugs on it, they're pretty much, they look like Christopher Ward's. I mean, the way they curve in. I wouldn't be surprised if the case, very similar.
I guarantee you those are made in the same place. Or they have
the loom on it's pretty solid. I mean,
the loom is good. It has adjustable clasp. The bracelet's good.
So I'm looking at a lot of Shinolas, just looking at some things that otherwise aren't out there. But if I went back a few months, I was looking at Zins, right? And I picked up a Zin. So there's a lot of things out there, but Shinola's taking it up for the holidays, and they don't give discounts. They don't do a lot of they're letting you know what's in stock, but they're not selling it at a discount.
Yeah, the only discount, like even when you go there, I don't know if you can negotiate at the discount retailers or not. You might be able to a little bit, but they do have in Michigan. There's 2 Shinola outlets, but usually the dogs go there. So like they'll have like the Lake Monsters there, but those are full retail. Those aren't on outlet. They're just showing you them. But they do have like a bunch of Quartz Runwell and stuff that you can buy at like pretty decent discounts. The first one I bought was there.
I mean, they're not cheap. This one was $14.50.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up there, and I mean, it's got a lot of things about it that are positive.
Always that expensive?
Not their Quartz
the Monster series were. This is an automatic. It's the automatic series was up there, but even the Quartz series, and most people seem to, maybe not in this group, but most people seem to gravitate towards those Quartz movements, and they're quality. They look good. They're fashionable. Their straps are great. So I'm looking at them. I don't know what I'll end up with. But that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. And of course, there's a Bell and Ross that I'm looking at. There's a there's a Weiss
Yeah.
I'm looking at. I mean, I'm not.
I knew that was gonna be a hard one for you to answer. Like, what is your favorite? Because like I've already seen what you've shown, and you've shown me brands that I didn't even know existed. So
I mean, I've got like I think I'm done with U-boat, but here's a U-boat capsule, right? I mean, it's kind of weird. It doesn't show off in the light. I'd probably have to see if I can adjust the light and make it brighter. But I mean, here's something that's different, and I mean different in a way that's
Vincero?
Just, so maybe.
Are you about to post that
I
on
don't
Vincero? Okay.
What's that, Hector? Anyway, yeah.
I thought you
so,
were
I mean,
about
there's
to
just-
showcase a Vincero, the best watch ever made.
I've never even heard of that.
that's the one. Isn't that the brand that he keeps getting the ads for? I'm telling you, you got to get YouTube Prime or Premium or whatever.
Dude, I'm gonna make a
Yeah.
whole video on Vincero. It's gonna be ugly.
Vincero Light and
It's a
Crispy.
spoof video coming to a theater near you.
All right. Well, yeah.
So
I mean,
So my answer on favorite brand, it's pretty easy. It's Casio, and honestly, I own a bunch of Casio, but I don't really wear a bunch of Casio. But Casio is like seriously one of the most collectible. Their range is like so collectible. It's just fun. But yeah, I mean, I like a lot of other brands,
Right.
but I think I'm sticking with Casio for my favorite brand.
I mean, you can't go wrong with Casio. I mean, I wear this if I go to a grocery store and people comment more on this watch. Right. That watch. I want that watch, Rob.
I'm sending you this
I
one.
want I want that one on that strap.
Hector's got the Blend Master flashlight.
I don't have a Casio, so I started a flashlight.
flashlight.
I need a gold
what?
one. I need a gold flashlight. That's dope.
I mean, you know what? Casio
Yeah,
has
you need-
some
you
real,
need,
real cool stuff.
You need one like
You know, I mean, they catch you. You know, one that's really got me lately though is Hamilton dropped the Matrix watch. The Matrix watch. I mean, they dropped the the PSR, which is great because it's a throwback. I mean, if you're an '80s kid, '70s, you know what that digital LED looked like. It wasn't just straight. I do have one. I think I got one here. Remember? I mean, you can see the. I don't know if you can see it here. Let's see.
Oh,
see
yeah.
the little buttons, right? See how you can see the
I
little
love that.
nubs on that? That's the digital LED we grew up with, right? If you go back in the 80s and stuff. Well,
Yeah,
they just
with
did
the
a
red.
Matrix watch of it. They dropped it in black Matrix. And it's like, I'm looking at that, I'm like, do I need another one of these? I mean, but I kind of won't let that one go. I like it. I don't wear it, but it's got a 200-meter water resistant. It's an LED, always on, sapphire crystal, 200-meter, out of the blue watch. I mean, so yeah, there's some cool stuff. I don't know how we went off on that, Rob. Anyway, yeah.
There's some background music on Hector's mic, so I muted him and it goes away. But I don't know if there's something running on Hector's area that I can hear in the background.
Music.
No, I can just there's something.
No, I don't
can
have
hear.
any music on.
I can just hear something in the background. But so
It's
anyway,
like a Roomba.
let's move on to the next thing. Is there? Let's see, how much time do we have? We got enough time, I think, to do. Most worn.
Come on, Rob.
What? What was the hobby done for you? 2022. Is there so Hector? Is there a standout brand for you? I know like there's a favorite brand, but is there like a standout brand for you that like Calico kind of touched on it? Like he's looking at Shinola a little bit more, and that's maybe to answer that question. But is there something that like is really intriguing to you that someone's doing? Doesn't necessarily mean that you would go buy them. It could be like some crazy shit that they're doing.
I've been looking at Zen, but the 104 and all those watches have been out for a while, so it's nothing that I didn't notice just yesterday. But you did a video on the Mito tribute, and I really liked it. And you said it was a 40 millimeter, I believe is what you said, 40, 41, something like that. All high polished. You had the blue variant, but I'm a black dial guy. And Manny, Manny, Mr. Light, he's got one, minty fresh. So he said he would send it to me so I can do a review on it. But I might end up picking that one up because it's really intrigued me. I really like the look of that one. So I've been kind of like really staring hard at that watch, at the brand altogether, though.
So that one does wear small. It is a smaller looking watch, but the full polish on it and the bracelet on it is like spectacular. Let's see.
All right.
Oh, you know what? I've also I've been staring at the orange dialed, the orange dialed
The heck,
Doxa,
what am I, chopped
the
liver?
300T.
What about me?
Yes, you're chopped liver.
The Doxa.
You know,
So
Doxa,
yeah.
Hector, I am gonna don't get offended, but I am gonna mute you because it'll cut down on some of the noise. But I'll unmute you when it's time for you to talk. Just sit there and look pretty, okay?
All right.
All right. So Joe, what is a standout brand for you?
Hey Hector, I can't hear you. So like, you know, it's interesting. You said Doxa, right? Because Doxa, when I think of Doxa, there's a couple watches out there that come to mind when I think of Doxa. I think of the Alta Vista, or the, what is it, Alta. Alta Vista is a website back in the 90s, but the Alsta Jaws watch, the 1975 Jaws watch.
Yep.
And then what came to mind was the Zodiac Huckberry, Rob, that you flipped that I wanted from a long time ago. So there's those kind of fall into that category of just, and that's where Doxa is for me, like in that range of, they're out there. I kind of, the one-off certain ones I want. The Doxa's one that I look at. There's a guy in Discord, Chaz, I think he throws out like tons of Doxa photos because I don't think he's a Spartan fan, but a Tennessee fan, so he likes that orange, and you know, it's out there. But if I had to look at, like, you're talking favorite brand, Rob, right? Like what I like,
standout brand, like something that not a favorite brand, but something that is like intriguing to you, something they're doing that it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna like go purchase them or anything like that, but it's just you recognize that they're doing some interesting
all
things.
right, I'm gonna go down this road because it's a love-hate, and this one's got some history. I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna loom this bad boy up because it's like a devil. This thing's like a beast. This thing is like evil. This thing is right straight from the depths of hell. Boom. The Devil Diver Bulova. And let me tell you why about this one. So there's a story behind it, but we won't get into that, Rob. You ripped me off. But
that's not
anyway,
true.
you took advantage of me at one time. And let's just say that this Devil Diver was supposed to be mine, and Rob went out there and bought it from under me. Like, just, I was ready to buy. I had the money. I was going to drop the paper. And Rob's like, it's mine because I'm Rob. And he got it.
What do you think the odds that
Hector's,
see, Hector can still hear us, but like, what do you think he's going to get a wig?
Hector bounced. So
I know, but I think he might be going to get the wig, and I'm concerned.
I'm worried too, but we don't know what Hector's going to do. But the Devil Diver, so for me, Bulova, what they've done is, so Bulova to me, yeah.
Wilson wants you to try that on because he's got his wrist is similar size to you, and he was thinking about buying the one that I have.
Wilson, anything for you. You know what?
He was thinking about buying the one I have for sale.
Because of you, I won $1 off Craig, and Craig lost that Luminox thing. You know, so I got a big wrist, and Wilson's got a big wrist too, and we're like, you know, got that solid wrist size. So I'm putting it on here, and there you go. I mean, it does well on this band. I've tried some other bands. It's just good. Let me see here. Loom it up. Boom. It's nice. 666, great.
That thing in the pool with whatever that pool lighting was like, it was like going to a nightclub with UV lights. It was like crazy.
That's Florida. That's Florida right there. You want to go to Miami? You're wearing the Devil Diver. All right.
Maybe I should take this one off. You know, I got this one listed for so cheap on Flippers. Maybe I should take it off.
I don't know why. It's $500 on a discount, $750 on MSRP, and you're flipping that for, I don't even want to mention, but crazy price, Rob. Crazy. Like, you're insane not to buy that one instantly. I'd pull it, and you know what? That's Florida. That's Florida right there. So anyway, with this watch, one of the things that Bulova's done, though, that's amazing is, like, you had the 50th that came up this year of the Lunar, right? And you had Apollo, And it was kind of like really neat because you've got Omega dropping all their stuff. You got Snoopy, you've got Omega with their $10,000 watches, and you've got Bull.
That's not even Hector. Like he's wearing a different.
Can you guys hear me?
I'm for now.
Oh, it's beautiful. That's amazing. My lady. We were talking about a devil.
That's Kip.
And we just had a demon appear. Shit. Anyway, so so the Bulova comes out, right, with the lunar, and you have the lunar stuff, and they did some releasing. There we go, baby.
Hector, I unmuted you. You're on, so be careful. I mean, Kip, be careful.
Let me see if I can hear you guys.
I can hear you.
It's empty. Oh man. So anyway, Bulova did something interesting this year. I didn't expect to find myself wanting this. And because I couldn't get that, because Rob lifted it from under me, I ended up with this vampire blood one. The Dark Moon U-boat, 200-meter water resistant, screw down crown. You can refill, you can change your own battery without sending it back for 6 months to Italy. Anyway, it's a nice watch, great watch. But anyway, I was able to acquire, and that's one of those neat things about this watch community. I didn't buy this. This was gifted to me by a member in Discord because he saw what Rob did. And he said, I'm going to make it right, Joe. I'm going to take care of you, Calico, and I'm going to make this right. And he sent this to me, made it happen. Rob thought that I lifted his from Kevin at One Time Watch or whatever, and instead it was like, no, Rob, this is my watch. I didn't lift your watch on some tour. It is my watch, anyway.
All right. All right. So I can mute you now, and I can tell my side of the story here in a second. So, so here's the deal, guys. Calico talks a lot of shit. So first off, I might actually cancel my ad on this because this is actually pretty sweet and there's too much story behind this. But you know what? We're going to save that story. I'm not even going to say it because this is such a complex story now with this watch, this actual watch. And then Manny hooking you up with that one. It goes on and on. I think I have to keep this one. I might have to keep this one and wear this one. Sorry, Discord, for the Bulova tees. I'm going to probably have to take this one off. Sorry, Wilson. You're more than welcome to borrow it. When I come down this weekend, you can borrow it, hold on to it, wear it for whatever, just as long as I have it back by the end of January when I go to Florida. But there's too much story behind it, and I can never let Calico he can't have only his side of the story on that, because I feel like at some point he's going to be telling the eulogy, and he's going to be telling about how I ripped him off or something with this watch, and it's not true. So I got to get this out there. I got to make sure people understand. So that's nuts. There's not enough time because I only wanted to go an hour. We only got a couple minutes left. You're not muted, by the way. There's not enough time for me to cover the story. To cover this story of the Devil Diver would honestly be its own episode. That's how involved it is.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob. I'm going to bring this up only because, we got some stuff. We got history. We're talking about history. And, Craig's part of that history. But wait. You hear how Tudor has a detent there?
Yeah. Okay.
That's $1 worth.
Yeah. That's all part of the story too, because that goes all the way back to California. Listen, guys, I'm going to do more watch meetups in person, and anybody that's within the region, when I start doing these, you guys got to go, because that's where these stories are made and stuff. Kip will understand. He was there. Kip was there in Vegas.
Las Vegas. Kip was Las Vegas.
He met up with Calico and myself and everybody else. You're not, Hector, you're not muted or Kip, you're not muted. You can talk. We can hear you. Oh, he's going to play guitar too.
No, I'm not going to play for you guys. You got to pay me.
Oh, that sounds right. That sounds about right. All right. So to close out, we're coming to the end of 2021. We're gonna do more shows. Like I'm gonna do more lives because I don't have my day job. I'm gonna treat YouTube as my day job for like the next few weeks. But just between us three and whoever's watching, um, do you have any plans for 2022? Do you hope to like make it some meetups and forget about watches? Like, what do you guys want to do, like on a personal level? Hector, I mean
Philly,
Kip.
Florida, Baltimore,
Yeah,
Texas.
Hector's in the bathroom, so
Kip, are you going to be coming to any meetups? Or we're going to do more meetups. I might even do we might even do a Texas meetup.
that's what
Texas, man.
I heard. Calico said he was going to come and see me, and thank you, and I would hold a personal concert for him, just me and him, and a bottle of whiskey. God knows where that's going to go, but whatever.
Just twerk, man.
But yeah, if y'all do a Texas one, I'm going to be there.
Well, I heard you have a direct
Hector will be
connection
too.
with Anthony, like Timepiece Gentleman and stuff like that, so we can meet up with him maybe.
That guy, the guy that stood me up, the guy that promised, and then forget
Hey,
that guy.
I feel you. I was stood up in Vegas on a Tuesday night for dinner. I feel you. I know that pain.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a spoof video on him too. Yeah, it's coming.
Oh
I'm gonna
God.
put fake muscles on and a tight T-shirt and some tight pants, and I'm gonna do a spoof video on him.
You, me, Texas. It's gonna be
Dirk
big.
said he's down for
Big,
Texas.
big. It's gonna be
Come on, Dirk.
really big. Hey, Rob, I challenge you to Texas.
I'll go
Can
to
you
Texas.
handle Texas? Can you handle Texas?
I can. I've been there twice.
Then Texas is going to happen
I
three
drove
times.
through. I didn't actually stop.
You're going to
Oh, you need
stop
to
in
stop.
Texas. DFW, we got some people there. It's going to be Texas because you know what? Everything's bigger in Texas.
We're gonna Dan.
That's for sure.
Brave Sailor. We're gonna use our dive watches. We're gonna dive in Texas. We're gonna dive. Or no, we're gonna stop at a dive bar in Texas with our
Barbecue. Got to hit barbecue in Texas. You know what? It's got liquor in Texas. A lot of steers and a
lot of eggnog in Texas, bro.
I can't believe you're drinking eggnog. That is gross.
What? Why eggnog? What's up with the eggnog? This is the holidays.
I love eggs and I love nog, bro.
Those aren't even. That's messed up. That's messed up.
I love
so we're
a
gonna
lot
get
of
out
things too, but I don't put them in my mouth.
Oh God.
Nog. Hey, you guys watching? Winding Crowns. Go sub. Winding Crowns.
We're gonna get
now.
I got 6.
We're gonna get Hector Winding Crowns. We're gonna get Hector easily over that 500 mark. But I'll put a link to his channel down in the description. But I mean, obviously, like if we could get him over 1,000, that'd be awesome. But
I'd like to get 7.
In CalicoBasin,
want to see more of this, bro?
Careful what you ask for, there, buddy. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us on the live stream here. I know it wasn't like a huge turnout, but it was an unannounced one. So, KR saying Southeast Michigan meetups. Yes, I am going to be working on that again soon. Everyone's crazy busy this time of year in Southeast Michigan, so a lot of these things are going to happen early 2022, and then we're going to move forward into 2022. We're going to do a lot more. We're going to do a lot more exploring and stuff like that. All right, so thanks everybody for tuning into the live stream. Calico and Winding Crowns, don't sign off because I'm going to end the live stream, but we're still going to talk behind the scenes.
Cheers, guys.
So, yep. Cheers. Thanks for being here. Cheers, your eggnog there. Okay. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks.